$76,000 should be there. William, my son, who's been sending me money for 7 years, however, the bank account shows barely anything. Lie. When I asked the bank clerk, I was told that someone has been withdrawing money regularly. Hearing this, I suddenly remembered something. Iris, William's wife, drives me to the hospital once a month. I always enjoy our monthly drives. But one day, I saw her rummaging through my purse while I was in the doctor's office. Not only that, I once caught her talking on the phone in a sweet voice I'd never heard, saying, "Meet me at our usual place tonight." Iris was betraying both me and William. We confronted her. We have all the evidence. At first, Iris denied it, saying, "I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about." Eventually, she couldn't escape and retorted, "We're a family." What's wrong with using family money? William and I were shocked to see the always smiling and gentle Iris turn into a completely different person. But discovering the true nature of my daughter-in-law was terrifying. My name is Maria Brown, and I'm 65 years old. I met my husband through a friend's introduction. He was quiet but kind and considerate. Our conversation flowed from our first meeting, and we soon fell in love. After dating for about a year, we got married. Our wedding was attended by family, friends, and colleagues, making it a memorable and wonderful time. Then our son William was born, and we were living a happy and prosperous life. But that happiness didn't last. That morning was just like any other normal day. "See you later. Have a good day." I saw my husband off to work and was getting ready to leave myself. On my way to work, a call came from an unknown number. "Hello? Is this Maria Brown? Your husband has been in an accident." It was the police. I felt the blood drain from my face. A chill ran through me, and I hurried to the hospital. "Is my husband okay? He's all right, isn't he?" I was trembling as I grasped the doctor's shoulder. "I'm sorry, but no!" I was just 32 at the time. After getting married and having a child, just when it felt like our life was truly beginning. I broke down in tears, and so I became a widow in my 30s. I was determined to protect my precious son at all costs. Since then, I've raised William by myself. I worked multiple jobs day and night. To avoid making William feel lonely, I took Sundays off to go out with him, and we went on many trips. When William was in middle school, while most kids his age were becoming rebellious, he was different. "Mom," he would say, "you're working too hard. Take a break," he would say. He would brew me coffee when I came home from school. William sometimes says, "I'll cook dinner today," and makes us a meal. I wonder if he got his kindness from his late father. It makes me happy to think so. One day, he came running up to me with a sudden inspiration. "Mom," he would say, "I found what I want to do." "What?" I asked, surprised. All of a sudden, "What do you want to do?" "Yeah," he replied. "I will be in high school soon. I've been thinking about my future dreams." And I realized, "I want to be a teacher," he said, his eyes sparkling with excitement. He told me how he had gotten into international music recently. He loved the music but didn't understand the lyrics, So he started translating them into English and loved sharing with his friends. "That's great! I'm rooting for you," I exclaimed. Then he went to high school and later to university. The university expenses were hefty, and honestly, our finances were tight. But seeing him go to study happily every day made me think, all right, let's keep pushing on. Eventually, he graduated from university. He got the teacher's certification, fulfilling his dream of becoming a middle school teacher. Less than 20 years ago, from today, after he'd been teaching for a few years, he said, "Mom, there's someone I want you to meet." "Nice to meet you," I said. "I'm Iris. I'm dating William." She was William's girlfriend. He had had a few girlfriends before, but this was the first time he formally introduced one to me. No way, I thought.
Always says we're thinking of getting married.
So they came to introduce me to his future wife. My eyes welled up with tears as I looked into his earnest eyes. He's grown up so well.
I met Iris at a social gathering.
Watching them talk about how they met, they looked so happy and it was heartwarming. Iris was friendly and easy to talk to. While I felt a little sad about being apart from my son, I was happy for him finding a good wife. And then they got married. They had a daughter, Emma. 16 years have passed since then, and my granddaughter, Emma, is now in high school. After retiring, I worked part-time for a while, but now I'm living on my pension. Perhaps because I worked too hard when I was younger, I now suffer from rheumatism and can't walk without a cane. I visit the doctor once a month, but the taxi fare to and from the hospital is honestly a strain financially.
Where, Ma?
"We're here," they exclaim when they visit. "Mom, how are you feeling?" Aki asks with concern. "Oh, welcome. Thanks for coming as always." "Well, not bad," I replied with a smile. "Is Iris not with you today?" "She's at work again today. At first, they used to come over often as a family of 3. But recently, Iris has been busy and we haven't seen much of her." "I wanted to talk to you about something today, Mom." "Talk." I wondered what he meant, and then he said, "Why don't you move in with us?" "What? With your rheumatism and difficulty walking, it would be more reassuring to have someone around, right? Luckily, we've got an extra room in our place. What do you think?" Questions. Honestly, with my mobility issues, life had been challenging and I had my worries, so his offer was very welcome. But I heard stories about in-laws moving in and causing friction in the marriage. I was not wanting to cause any trouble and hoping for my son and his wife to live happily together. I said, I'd be sad to leave my familiar home. "But thank you for worrying about me." "Grandma, well then I'll deposit some money into your bank account every month." "Please use that. You don't have to." "I'm fine, really." "What are you talking about?" "I know the medical and taxi expenses are a strain, aren't they? You've taken care of me all these years. Let me do this much." "William, thank you." A week later, my son's family came to visit again. Iris was with them this time, which had been rare lately. "Maria, it's been a while." "It's been a while. I heard you've been busy with work. You don't have to overdo it." "Well, a little, but I'm not overdoing it." "I wanted to see you," Iris said with a smile. "I'm happy to see you too, Iris." "Oh, I have an idea." I'll start driving you to the hospital. Iris works as an insurance saleswoman, so she has a flexible schedule and access to a company car, making it easy for her to provide transportation. But seeing me looking apologetic, they said it's okay. Iris is offering after all. Right, Grandma? Let's ask Mom, okay? Are you sure it's all right? I don't want to impose. Of course, it's okay. William and Emma were all for it, so I accepted Iris's offer. And from then on, once a month, Iris would drive me to the hospital. The drives with just Iris and me turned out to be really fun. She's a great conversationalist, and these trips were much more enjoyable than going alone. I even found myself looking forward to hospital days. But one day, as usual, I left my purse with Iris and went for my appointment. You seem to be doing well. Good. Thank you. After about 30 minutes and a bit of chatting, I returned to the waiting room. I was stunned to see Iris, who waited in the waiting room, going through my purse. Iris was taking my wallet out of my purse and looking inside. Why? I wanted to speak up, but hesitated. After watching her skillfully put the wallet back into my purse, I approached her. Iris, thanks for coming with me.
No problem.
Let's head back home.
I acted as if nothing had happened.
I couldn't bring myself to confront her. That night, Iris, William, and Emma came over. William, you're always so kind.
Left as usual, unchanged.
She's always been kind and considerate to me and the family. It's hard to believe she would rummage through someone's purse. What I saw today must have been a mistake. It has to be. I convinced myself. Years passed. I've been keeping my husband's remains in his hometown cemetery, but since getting rheumatoid arthritis, I found it hard to visit. I was thinking of asking someone to maintain the cemetery. I was happy to find it, but now, what should I do? Testing touted the cost of treating my rheumatoid arthritis had been high, and I couldn't afford to keep the maintenance. I wanted to keep the place well for my husband, but it just wasn't feasible. Searching online, I found it would cost approximately $76,000 to maintain the cemetery for 7 years. It's impossible. Deterred by the harsh reality, I sat on the sofa and sighed heavily. Then William called. Oh, my William. What's up? How did it go with the cemetery? It seems the maintenance fees are not cheap. I ended up venting to my son. Then William said, if the money I've been depositing monthly has added up, use that. And if it's not enough, I'll pitch in. Don't hesitate to ask. I had completely forgotten about the money William had been depositing. It was in a different bank than the one where my pension was deposited, and they never used it, so I hadn't withdrawn anything yet. Oh, right. Thank you so much. After hanging up, I decided to go to the bank to withdraw the money. When I checked my account, I saw a balance of only $9. What? I haven't withdrawn anything? Panicked, I asked the bank clerk to check. Willie had indeed deposited about $76,000 over the past 7 years. However, someone had been regularly withdrawing money using my cash card. I had no idea how this could have happened. I thought about telling William, but imagining how hard he worked to deposit that money, I couldn't bring myself to tell him that it was all gone. And to deposit that money, I felt too guilty to say it's somehow gone. I was ashamed of myself for neglecting the account for 7 years. And then on another day, Iris was again providing transportation for my hospital visit. She was chatting and smiling as usual. After my appointment, I returned to the waiting room and overheard. It appeared that Iris was on the phone with someone. The night at our usual place, I lied to my husband, saying it's a company dinner. After a while, she ended the call. Iris was speaking in a sweet voice I had never heard her use before. Hearing her say she told her husband she was at a company drinking party, I instantly thought, is she having an affair? No way. Couldn't be. I could feel cold sweat running down my spine. I couldn't bring myself to speak to Iris and walked away. Sitting alone in the cafeteria, Iris found me. It seemed like she was looking for me.
Oh yeah. Did you get lost?
That smile sent a chill down my spine. After she dropped me off at home, I called William. Iris about Iris today, Iris. Oh, she's having dinner with her colleague.
Bye, what's up? Nothing. Just wondering.
Suspicious? I'd terrified, agonized for days. Though could Iris be having an affair? Should I tell William? It's like one weekend. With Emma at the sports club, William came to visit alone. William, there's something difficult to say. I decided to talk about Iris. I couldn't stand it anymore. William listened silently without saying a word. After about 10 seconds of silence, he spoke.
Sure, she's been busy with work lately, but I can't believe she would cheat.
Of course, he would be shocked to suddenly hear his wife is cheating. Faced with my son's stubborn disbelief, I decided to show him something significant. Yes, the bank account where William had been depositing money. Actually, it's not just that. The money you've been depositing, there's only about $9 left in the account. When I asked the bank, they said the money was withdrawn on the days Iris took me to the hospital. No way! How? Why? William was shocked and wide-eyed. No, I'm not saying it's definitely Iris. Oh, sorry for saying this. No, it's okay. Thanks for telling me. I'll look into it. A few weeks later, William brought Iris to my house. Oh, she seemed confused, unaware of the reason. William, Iris, and I sat around the table. Normally, we would be chatting, but today was different. The air was heavy as William started to speak seriously. He said, Iris, Mom, look at this, showing the transaction details made with the bank card. Iris was startled when she saw it. You recognize this, right, Iris? She asked, visibly flustered. I don't know what you're talking about, Iris said, her eyes darting around. Why is this in your wallet? William stared at her intensely. Iris, panicking, said, How dare you look in my wallet? This proves the money was withdrawn from the hospital's ATM, right? Iris said, I don't know anything about it. I'll just look through my stuff. That's awful, she added. It seemed like she was desperately trying to blame my son in an attempt to escape responsibility. Who's the awful one who... William asked. You've been stealing the cash card from Mom's purse and using it. William shouted, causing Iris to visibly tremble. I was so happy when you drove me to the hospital every month, he continued. But using the money William deposited for me, that's just too much. Iris, cornered by our questions, suddenly snorted and retorted, "That money William put in is for the family, right? There's no problem with me using it." "It's not your money," she said. William and I were astounded by her response. Oh, but Iris didn't stop berating us. "Why don't you just appreciate that I was driving Maria around?" she asked. "It's fine to take some money as taxi fare. Why are you two getting so angry?" she added. "After all the kindness I've shown, I deserve some gratitude for my behavior so far." Iris had a demonic look. She'd always been smiling and friendly. Her attitude now was terrifying. Then she told us, "Well, I'm a woman and I want to stay beautiful." Possibly for mixtures. I just used it for some beauty expenses. Iris claimed, implying that she had inadvertently used my money for cosmetics and clothes. Then William placed a photo in front of Iris. Her face went pale as she looked at it. It was a picture of Iris and a man, shoulder to shoulder, about to enter a motel. "Why?" Iris asked, seemingly taken aback and confused. "How could this be?" Actually, after hearing my story, William had hired a detective agency to investigate his wife's infidelity. The affair partner was apparently a supervisor at the same company as Iris. This supervisor, around the same age as Iris, is married with 2 daughters. If he's married with kids, he probably doesn't have much money to spare either. You needed money for motel stays and dinners, didn't you? How did you find out?
It was just a fling with him.
Don't lie. You've been involved for 5 years, right? William showed her more photos. There's more evidence.
Iris, her face red with anger, began to lash out at us.
So what? It's okay to have a little fun. I've worked hard raising our daughter. I need a break, too. Being with an ordinary guy like William isn't fun. This man is more exciting, and the thrill of an affair was enjoyable. William doesn't pay attention to me, and it's creepy how he always cares about your mom and Maria. Why do I have to entertain an old lady every month? I deserve to have fun with my affair partner. I use the money to have fun with him and for his birthday gifts.
Iris confessed angrily as if she was unrepentant.
Emma, did you hear all that?
I know everything.
Tom. Actually, after William became aware of Iris's infidelity, he was prepared for divorce and looked gloomy every day. Noticing her father's unusual demeanor, Emma learned about her mother's affair. I can't forgive her for betraying Dad and Grandma, she exclaimed in anger. So William, Emma, and I had a discussion and planned to confront Iris at my house today. Iris desperately tried to make excuses.
Mom, you had an affair with a coworker, right?
Iris, disgusted, looked at Emma with contempt and rejection. Iris was visibly shocked by this and broke down crying. Later, William and I went to Iris's company. Nice to meet you. I'm William, Iris's husband. And I'm his mother. About 20 colleagues from Iris's department and a few clients who seemed to be there for insurance consultations were present. The room began to buzz. How can I help you? Is Oliver Smith here? Yes, that's me. This man was Iris's affair partner. My wife seems to have been under your care for quite a while, William said, and Oliver's face turned pale. No, I mean, the money Iris embezzled was actually what my son had been depositing for me. I live in a wheelchair, you know. I'm so sorry. But here, Oliver apologized to us. According to Oliver, he felt lonely due to minimal conversation with his wife, who was tired from household chores and part-time work, and their teenage daughters. He grew close to Iris, his subordinate, and they ended up having an affair. Don't you have daughters? I have a precious daughter, too. Aren't you ashamed to do this? Well, that's as the affair partner was fumbling and troubled, Iris arrived, possibly returning from a sales call. Seeing my son and me, she seemed to realize the situation and became flustered.
Bite, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
William, my affair partner, said with a big smile.
That's when tuning the colleagues witnessing our family drama began to whisper among themselves. So they were really having an affair, and to think she was embezzling money from her wheelchair-bound mother-in-law. That's awful. Iris and Oliver seemed quite uncomfortable. Customers who had overheard the commotion were saying, "Ow, an affair" between employees. Better not sign any contracts here. It might get messy later. Let's leave. We can't trust this insurance company at all. I'm out of here. And with that, they left the store one after the other. Later, the rumor of Iris and Oliver's affair spread rapidly among the company and its clients, leading to many cancellations. Consequently, due to the damage to the company's reputation, both were effectively fired. Iris, having lost her job, desperately apologized to William and Emma. However, it was later revealed through information from Iris's colleagues that she had affairs with multiple men at the company. William and Emma were furious and immediately kicked Iris out of the house. The next day, Iris's parents came to my house with her.
As we deeply apologize for our daughter's inexcusable behavior. However, Iris's mother, perhaps overly indulgent of her daughter, started defending her.
Sure, what my daughter did was wrong, but doesn't your son also share some of the blame? Affairs aren't just one person's fault, and she's a victim because the man approached her. She said, starting to defend her daughter.
Enough.
I said we came here to apologize today. He made Iris and her mother both apologize. We are truly sorry. I'll take responsibility for the $76,000 William had deposited for you, which Iris used. We'll get it from her. Iris, hearing her father's words, turned pale. Iris and her mother seemed unable to defy her father. About people as promised, a few days later, $76,000 was transferred to the designated account. After that, William and Iris got divorced. William claimed child support from Iris. Iris ended up owing alimony and child support to Emma and the $76,000 her parents had covered. Iris deserved it. Since then, Iris struggled to find a job, and after relying on Oliver, became incommunicado when he returned to his hometown. Still abandoned by those around her and burdened with debt, she worked multiple part-time jobs daily. I heard from neighbors that Iris, who used to be slightly overweight, had become gaunt, almost unrecognizable. Now I look forward to a happy life with my kind son and lovely granddaughter. So